Hi, this is Glenda. I have been doing doodle flowers. I watched Dina Rico show one recently and it got me inspired to try some. I can't draw. I really cannot draw. So what I wanted to do was foolproof flowers that will pretty much always work for me. And so I went hunting for some instructions for different things. There's a little bit out there, but it's mixed in with a lot of Zentangles, a lot of amazing artists who can draw beautifully. And so what I did was pull out what I could and make a little hint sheet. So that's sort of what I'm offering today, if I can get it all in shot. But this is my little hint sheet for flowers that were pretty reliable, pretty much always worked. And that's what I'll work through. I turned all my test pieces into cards, whether they were 100% or not. And honestly, if you can draw beautiful flowers, this is not going to interest you. This is for people like me who cannot draw. So hopefully it will be helpful. They're a lot of fun. You don't need anything special to do them. So it's really inexpensive. And I just thought it was something different for me to do because I haven't really done this because I can't draw. So these are things that will work. I could say idiot proof or blender proof, whichever way you like to look at it. So the first one that got it all started, if I can show it as this one that Dina showed. So I will quickly try and show all the ones that aren't really obvious on the sheet as to what to do. But you're basically making a U shape. And I did most of them on watercolour paper, but I did a few on ordinary paper, and that seemed to work too because you're not adding masses of water. So you can add some shading if you wish to, but for this, you know, they're really naive, simplistic, modernized flowers, stylized, whatever you like to call it. You do need to dry your paint before you put your ink on, and you know, if you're doing a few, you can just do a few, and by the time you get back to the first one it's dry. But for this I'll dry them, and if I need to I will edit some of that out, but it doesn't take too long. I just don't want to wreck my black pen. This is just a Signo black pen. So then you go around here. You can see Dina's original instructions for this if you want something a little bit better. Making a little bit down here. A stem. Now she added the dots here and then joined them up, and the last couple I did I actually went up and then did the dot. So please yourself, but you're going to do a number of lines up with a dot on the end. Maybe it is better to do it the other way, but anyway, you're just doing some lines here, different heights, and you've got your flower. There were some examples of people with super artistic talents who had done them quite with a very thin pen and absolutely looked lovely, but hey, this is it. You put a couple of them together and it all looks good. So the next ones I guess would be these, just ovals, circles, more circles with different finishing on them. So we'll try a circle. And perhaps an oval. A little bell shape. If I do these, you mightn't have to watch the paint dry. So do another circle. And a bit more of a pointy circle. Okay, see how we go with that. Okay, so for the first one, we're just going to put some dots along the edge, not all the way around, another one in the middle, and then just draw some lines. And you can put that to one side, to the top, whatever you like. This one will do the same thing. You get a different look when you do it on an oval. And a stem. For this one, I'm going to do a cup shape like that, and just a wiggle cup at the top, and a few lines, a stem, maybe put some dots in the middle. For this one, we're just going to do some weird little wiggles, sort of off center a bit. And let's see, for this one, I know I was going to do this one here. So we're just going to draw around like that. And we'll put a bit of a bottom on it, a stem, curly leaves. If you want to, you can put sort of some tufts on the top, or a little swirl. You know, you get away with anything with these. So what else have I got? And let's see, we've got another circle. When I say circle, that's in the loosest sense of the word. And one that looks a bit like a light bulb. So for this one, we're just going to do some lines like that, and then just some little dashes around the edges. And for this one, sort of almost like the bottom of the light bulb, and do some lines up into it, and then on the top we've got some little this one up a little bit. They're not totally blender proof, and then you could outline it. I didn't originally, but like, you can vary it up if it hasn't quite worked for you. Oh, now it looks more like a jellyfish. Don't do lots of lines like that. So the next one would be with a wider brush. This was one of my favourites. It looks the most genuinely flower-like, but you're just going to sort of put some squiggles that are all going to turn into petals for some reason. I don't know why it works, but it seemed to work reliably. every time. So just a wide brush. Fill it out till it's kind of enough for a flower. And again dry it. What I didn't do was get a different colour paint. Because you actually want a darker colour. I'm just going to do some little crosses in the middle. You do this before you dry it, I forgot to do it. Just going to do some little, it's not quite dry, my pen doesn't like that, just some little things in the middle, and again, instant flower. So that was those. Oh, this was another one I really liked. So you just do a few little dots. It makes quite a good little filler, this one. And then you just do a little twiddle out from each one. I thought they were cute. So then there were some, let's see, another one that's just dots is to do some dots in a circle. And maybe add a different colour. And I think I added some, leave it like that, or add some little black dots in as well. Let's see. I had some berries. And you just do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just join them together. And my second one's a bit close there, but you get the idea. It's a bit hard to join that stem on now, but you know, they're just little dots. Another one was little dots. Oops, and a big blob. Is just to do some dots like this. And I'll do another one while that's drying. Using a marker, of course, it dries a whole lot quicker. This one we'll do a line down. do a little bump and some dots. Get a slightly different look. What have I missed? That's probably most of them. A sort of a daisy thing had a centre circle and some other ones coming out. Not a daisy, dandelion. I just added a few more until I was full enough. You sort of need to add them as you go. Then there was some really simple filler things, and I think they're pretty self-explanatory. So I think I've covered everything that I came up with on the sheet. I'll move my paints out of the way. So, various things I did. I mean, that's obviously a practice piece, but it all sort of came together near enough. That's when I tried on ordinary card and I did it in black. That's one of the first ones I did with Dina's ideas. I like this, I ran with it. That was closer to what the artistic one I saw. I mean, it's nowhere near it really. I mean, there's so much Renuvo drops. That was the first one I did with Dina's. She didn't have the spots. I tended to seem to keep adding spots to everything. This was my practice piece that really had random stuff over it, so I just cut it into squares and made a inchy style. That was a different technique that didn't work, but it was where I was practicing different things that would or wouldn't work. There's another one of these, but this time I did it on I used markers to see how they would come up, and I used gold instead of black. There's one where I was trying to do a finished one, and likewise with this one. So you can get some different looks with them, and you know, they are quite fun, and I will keep doing those, whereas a lot of things I do, I get up to the video point and you won't see it into my craft room again for years. I just tend to do something and then stop. But anyway, so I hope that's helpful, and as I say, there'll be a download for the hint sheet if you want to give these a go. Thanks for watching.